Hey, it's Fede, Bubby, and Raj doing our stand up. Bubby, you want to give us any updates? Have you got any?
Not really. I'm still having trouble running Haley on PyCharm. I don't know if it's because like it's just not grabbing that .env file. I don't know what I'm doing wrong because I'm creating a new file in PyCharm and then it keeps giving me like Slack bolt error. And if I fix, because before it was giving me like Slack user error, then I reset the Slack user, then it gave me Slack bolt error, and I like tried restarting the whole thing and it's like throwing me in a loop. So I'm not sure like what the issue is. I don't know if it's the way I put the env file in PyCharm or
Yeah, that shouldn't matter. It's
oh,
just
it doesn't matter.
a text file. It should work.
Well, he's on
So
Windows.
weird.
He gets that wacky caret M. I don't know if that does anything
Yeah,
where you have
I'm
Windows
also
endings.
on Windows. Yeah, maybe you need to change some GitHub config for
Okay,
the. Yeah, that shouldn't
because
be
as
an issue to run Haley.
because I got her to running on my like my Windows, but on the Mac it's like it's just like I don't get what's going on. So I might just try restarting everything and then just like I don't know, maybe just following it a little bit more. Because I don't know, it's always just been that .env file for me. I don't know why.
Yeah, it
It's
should
always
work
that
on both.
same
I
issue.
have my desktop computer that has
Oh,
Windows,
oh,
and my
mhm.
laptop is a Mac, and
Okay.
it's working on both now. But
So it doesn't matter where you put that .env at all. Like it should just be able to go fetch.
Should be the top level
it
directory,
should
right?
be, yeah, it should be on the top level, right next to
Okay.
the .m.example
Okay.
file.
Okay. I'll try that then.
All right. All right. Yeah. So ping us if you need more help. How is Jagraj doing?
I keep texting him to see if he has any updates. I think he's still running into this issue because I yesterday I spent like 2 hours like just talking to him because we were both just trying to figure it out because he's using PyCharm as well, and it's like
Hmm.
the same issue we're running into is like anytime in the terminal we do flash minus minus debug run, it'll just keep saying like oh Slack user ID needed or like it needs it's a Slack bolt issue or anything in the environmental variables. It's asking for those. I don't know why it's like just not grabbing it. And I don't know if it's like you're supposed to set something in the environmental variable that's allowed to allow it to get grabbed, or
Well, we're not going to be able to solve it on this call, but
yeah,
document the issue that you're running into. When you figure out the solution, take that, give it to Haley to write a blog post, and then post it on your blog.
okay,
So those those things where it's like a newer issue, right?
hmm
That other people you can't find on Stack Overflow, you can't find
hmm
on the internet. Uh, those drive a lot of traffic
okay,
because if you have a solution to a really recent problem, right? And
yeah,
these people are in line with what we do, right? They're developing
hmm
Slack bots, so they're using Slack. It's like
yeah,
prime targets to solve their problem and then also let them know about us.
yeah. I'll update that. Wait, so I have a question. So when you guys are running Haley, you guys never have to export your whole, I guess your whole path to your index.py. You guys never do that either.
No.
Uh,
Oh wow,
no.
okay. That's the only way I've been able to run her is I have to export before I do Flask debug run.
No, I just run it straight away.
Oh, it's just running straight away? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, FedEx.
I've been working on. Well, I've been waiting for the guy to fix my internet. It's working now.
Looks like your phone internet's looking pretty good. Otherwise,
No,
yeah.
no,
Uh,
no, I'm back. And now I'm trying to do the Stripe subscription update every month. I'm not going to use the Stripe events. I will just do like a cron job or a Google cron job. I don't know how are
Google
those
Scheduler.
called. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
And yeah, do it that way.
yeah. I like Google Scheduler. It's um, there's a bunch of GCP stuff that's like super complicated and whatnot. But Google Scheduler is like, oh, okay. I give it a URL, set the timer, And then there's the advanced section, right? So getting the basics down, and then only on the cusp features you hide it, and then make it so it's exposable. So I like how they did. Whatever team did that, I think they did a great job. I'm not going to name the other projects in GCP that I'm like,
No, don't.
we're backed by Google and our them giving us credit. So shout
Yeah,
out to
Amazon is not that much better. Both have like terrible UIs or UX.
no, we don't
Oh,
talk poorly about Google. Google's the best. We love them.
yeah, it
If you're
is.
looking,
Love
if you're a
Google.
startup and you're looking to get some startup credits, apply to Google's program. They're actually really generous for an AI startup now.
Yeah.
They do $250,000.
Yeah, free tier is good.
Yeah. So, all right. And then let's see here. And then you're going to be digging into. Oh, so we have a new developer who I guess he didn't see. Well, I told him it was 8:45, but we had a sales meeting with Gong, and they have like really. I've used it before. It's really well built out. You just record your sales calls, and then it breaks down who's talking too much, who's talking too little, like. And they added this new feature where you can. It's like ChatGPT but for the sales call. So you can like ask exactly, did they do the selling framework that you want? Where do they gap? What do they do well? What do they not do well? And they'll like analyze your call. Problem is it's super expensive and I really can't justify paying, I'm not going to expose their pricing, but it's not cheap, right? So we're going to look at a few other sales platforms that we might not get all the cool stuff that they have at Gong, but something's better than nothing. So I'm looking for the value meets functionality and cost metrics, right? So me and Zach will keep looking at other platforms, and we'll see if we can land on one that doesn't break the budget. And we could afford Gong, but like it would actually like reduce our runway. So
Maybe
it's not
not worth.
Yeah. So, there's people that have money but don't have time, and there's people who have time but don't have money. I don't know if I could see the ROI with that particular tool. So we'll keep looking. And I shared with you guys our marketing trick that I'm not going to broadcast because don't. First of all, I think it's like borderline, questionable. And then second of all, if I did expose like that, other people might start doing it, right? And then the hard crackdown would happen, right? So, and I don't want to get cracked down. So this is like, if you're on TikTok or one of these, I don't know if you don't really go on social media, which is great. Social media rots your brain. I have to be on social media
Agreed.
just promote our stuff, and then also I'm heavy into like the AI tool stuff to see like what tools would help our business get better. So, I kind of have to be on there, and then in between they sneak in some funny stand-ups and stuff. But it's slowly rotting my brain, right? So, I forgot my train of thought. So, what was I talking about?
Your marketing strategy.
Yeah, your marketing.
Oh yeah. So you'll see people on there like pushing like get rich quick schemes. One was the thing that I
Buy
tried
my
out.
book.
I discovered like this is not as easy as was pitched, which is a children's book, right? And I did one on Jesus and him getting an army of kids to like overcome the Antichrist and stuff. And I was like, this is gonna sell like hotcakes. I just follow what they told me. The person made it sound like it's gonna take you like a couple hours to do the whole book using AI. Like the images. Maybe with DALL-E 3, did you guys see the announcement? Maybe with DALL-E 3, it would have been much faster because it wouldn't have all messed up fingers and like limbs coming out.
Yeah, and you can have like characters and ask like different images of the same character. So maybe it's going to be
That's gonna be
much
nice.
better.
So
Yeah.
that's coming to ChatGPT. So the Pro Edition, you'll be able to query for images, which I think is fantastic. I'm actually surprised they didn't put Dolly 2
Yeah.
into ChatGPT, right? So I'm excited when that comes out to try it out.
Yeah, I'm
And
probably going to start paying there. I'm not
yeah,
paying for
and
ChatGPT.
I'm happy to pay your. You can use the corporate card to pay for that subscription.
Awesome.
And plus, you want the plugins. Like I use there's an SEO plugin. There's a Web Pilot which goes and fetches things for you. There's we use Notable for our data analytics. There's a bunch of really cool plugins that are in ChatGPT. So um, I don't know, maybe one day we'll have like Haley plugins. You can tack on plugins to Haley, and then she can do more stuff. That actually would be cool if we had like an app store where people could develop on top of our stuff. So yeah, there's that marketing thing that I'm doing. And then what else am I doing because our clicks are hitting, like we're trending upward, along with our blog that's sending traffic. And this other thing that I'm doing, all right, people actually Googling Haley, and Haley is rising up the list. And I think we're like number 3 or 4 now. It's just, we just got to take down Haley home.
Haley home.
Yeah. Haley at home. I'm sorry. We're going to leap you and go number 1 because a lot of people are going to be hitting us over that particular company. So sorry, but not sorry. You should have hit hard like we are on our marketing efforts. Called Google for like the ads that we're trying to run, and the first batch they told me that the keywords were too specific, not enough volume, and there actually was a decent amount of volume for those keywords, but since there's no competition, they're not going to make any money. They're like, no, you got to go up a level, right? So I bumped up to upper level. Finally, it went through and it said, they do training on the data for like 4, 5, 7 days or whatever. I don't know what they're doing in the back to create the ad that I gave them, right? And so now it says eligible, still not showing up. So I call up Google. I had posted on their forum and said like, hey, ads are not running, didn't get any help. Called them, talked to a human being, which is nice. I didn't have to go through like a bot to get to a human being. And he's like, hey, I'm here to redirect your call. And then he redirects me to like the specialist. The specialist then I don't get to the specialist. I get to the automatic response saying, go to the website. Here's the website. Go to the website and post it. And I'm like, what kind of customer service? I'm trying to give you money, Google, and you just don't want my money. So it's a little fun. I'm going to keep calling and seeing if I can get through. But it is kind of frustrating when you're trying to give someone money and they just don't want your money. I'm just a bad customer. And then I did the same thing with Microsoft AI ads, and I applied, gave it the website. There's nothing on our website that's like, questionable. We're selling a Slack bot, right? We're not selling drugs. We're not spewing anti-vaccine stuff, right? So they immediately flagged the account and said, fraud or something, right? What? And then I appealed it, and then they said, we actually stand by our appeal, or we stand by our judgment that you guys are fraudulent. And then it just gives me like a laundry list of possible things that I did wrong. And I'm like, dude, you're not even giving me like the one thing that I'm doing wrong that I could maybe go and fix. So like Microsoft's not going to get our money either. So there's a whole Microsoft network that we could have been advertising to, but at the same time, we're Slack. They have Teams.
Yeah,
Teams really well. So maybe that wasn't the right spot. But there's plenty of people on Windows that are using Slack, right? So, and then yesterday, in my spare time, I just look at like AI news tools and stuff. So there's a really cool one called Meta GPT. I put the link. I don't know if you guys saw it in engineering. That one, it creates like a bunch of agents that work together to finish a project, and it'll create the repo for you. And some of the demos that I saw were like, wow, like they communicated. They even have like a game thing, like those 2D games where the users walk around, they talk to each other. So like they have a visualization of them like the product requirement specs say this. Actually, we should be really concerned about the ethical issues because there's an HR agent, right? Like, so you can see it all happening. And then at the end, you get a fucking repo in GitHub with the code working.
Oh,
And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. And there was the other one, I think it's called Chat Dev, which is the one I think I'm talking about. So I don't, yeah, Meta GPT doesn't do that, but Chat Dev does, where you can actually see them talking. And then, but it's still a lot of, you still need a developer because you need to be able to go into the folder and set, you have to update JSON, like for each person, what's their role, what are they concerned about, that sort of thing. So just imagine, people will take that project, take it up a step higher, right? Where it'll automatically generate that for you. And so you're just generating projects, and it's like, you can have a QA agent. I don't know how it's QAing stuff, but that'll QA your work too. So it's like, we're getting to the point where it's like, you're going to be able to spit out a whole project, and you might be the final QA person. Otherwise, you might throw it back with a slightly different prompt. But it's getting pretty impressive with what the open source community is doing.
yeah, it's getting scary.
Let me see if there's anything else. So yeah, yesterday interviewed with Jacob, great guy. Yesterday or the day before? The days are all blurred now. So, I am now the Slack ambassador or the Slack community leader of Santa Barbara. I posted on, LinkedIn to find who else is in Santa Barbara that uses Slack that's like interested in meeting other Slack users. But the problem was when people went to the link and signed up, it didn't bump the counter. So it always is 0. And so I sent it to my friend and I said, hey, can you join this Slack community group? You use Slack, come for the beer, the swag, the food, and interesting talks that we'll set up. And he's like, bro, you didn't even sign up. There's 0 people in this group. Why would I join? And I was like, dude, I signed up. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, there's fucking 0.
Someone has to be the first.
Yeah. So first follower is always important. And when the system's against you and you can't even get the first follower, you're doomed for failure. So I think we have a good amount of people signed up, even though they saw they were going to be the first person to do it. So the other thing that we're going to have is, I know, Bubby, you started a Slack group amongst your friends where you'll get them using Haley.
Yeah, I'm going to start sending them out to them, like the link and stuff.
And then Jagraj is going to be our UCSB ambassador. So he's going to go into UCSB. He's going to start up a new Slack workspace, and then all of his friends, and then word of mouth, and then just get as many UCSB people on one Slack workspace that has Haley on it. And so we'll get all of the UCSB folks using Haley as much as possible also. So, and then that'll be a great for that user base, with him being the UCSB Slack community leader, through me. We'll have them come to like the meetups and that sort of stuff. So we'll get them all hooked on Slack young, right? And then
that'd be good, because I know a lot of kids like in college, they just keep using Discord, and like every year Discord, they are like, oh, this is the class of 2023, and then they have all the classes for their Discord. So like Discord's like a really huge thing in college. So like I know my last couple years is when, due to COVID, everything was on Discord. So every time we would just keep making new Discords basically. So maybe if Jagraj can find like their Discord, he can maybe push Haley into their Discords, because I feel like everyone's.
Oh, we don't have a Discord integration. So we talked about it, but the thing with Discord, it's more like a community thing, right? It's not necessarily a corporate thing. Slack is like corporate. Although you can use it for whatever with the free tier. So, both are great platforms. Maybe in the future we would do a Discord Haley bot, but we're doing in business, there's this thing called bowling pin strategy. So like you have, and this is what was happening at InTouch Friday. Like the idea was you have, 10 pins, and that's the whole market, right? But you're not going to go after hit all the 10 pins at the same time with your bowling ball. You hit that first pin, and then the pins knock each other down, right? And then you take over the whole market, become like the monopoly for that section. And so if we try to hit the 2 pins with the bowling ball at the same time, that's a hard thing to do, right? Like, so knock that first pin down, then we can grow the team, and then maybe have a separate division that just works on like the different chat platforms out there. So at InTouch, what they were doing was, they could do robots for telemedicine, for all categories. But what they found was the highest value and low acuity was stroke. So if someone has a stroke, they go to a rural hospital. They don't have the right doctors or the specialists to see you there. They bring in the robot, you talk to the robot, and then, alongside with the care team at the facility, they fix it. Fix you, patch you up, give you the clot buster that you need, TPA, to fix the issue. And it was super, super effective. Like, people getting on the call, you're talking to a doctor right away, because when you have a stroke, you have like a golden hour window where if you don't get the treatment in time, you're going to have adverse effects. But if you get in the golden hour, they'll bust that clot, and you're like the stroke never happened after a little bit of recovery. So, they went after stroke first, and then behavioral health and other sections in the healthcare market, and it was effective because they went after the most profitable one first. All right, thanks for chatting. Anything else before we jump off?
Nope.
No, we're good.
All right, catch you guys later.
Take care.
Thanks, guys.